So, what's up? My name's Nat. I'm Nat Sanderson. I'm an author, not related to Brandon Sanderson in any way, just as a heads up. But I'm an author. I've got two poetry books published, and I wrote a fantasy novel, and I've been trying to get it published for the better part of a year. I've been rejected just over 20 times and got pretty discouraged. So I figure if publishing companies don't want me, I might as well just, but like I think the book is good. I might as well just, try and actually like get it out into the world. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna read a page a day until it's done, um, and then post it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think. Genuinely, I'd love the feedback. Yeah, I'm a relatively new author. Like I said, all I've written is poetry in the past, and like I know I'm like a good poet, but we'll figure out about. I think I'm a good fantasy author, but that remains to be seen. So let me know what you think. And without further ado, here we are. So this is chapter one of the Beleaguered Ox Cafe. Dax Hayfield awoke to the usual aroma of fur, stone, and piss in his jail cell, the same cell he'd been in these last thousand and change years. As of last month, he'd spent half his life in this jail cell, though it certainly felt longer. He knew he deserved to be where he was, given his short stint as a power-hungry necromancer and the countless lives and souls that he'd enslaved in the name of conquest. To say he regretted that life would be an understatement. These days, Dax tried not to think too much about the past and instead focused on the future and what he could control. He had tried to escape enough times to know such a feat was beyond him, and besides, he didn't want to be on the run if he ever did get out. It was hard to pinpoint when that change had happened, as it certainly wasn't due to the repeated failures. He blamed the forest spirit that spoke to him through the tree that dominated the bulk of his cell, his long-standing companion these last 1,000 years. Not that he knew how to even exist in the world, changed as it was, but he was determined to try nonetheless. He spent his free time more and more in the prison library, now equipped with modern computers and even internet. He had no idea how any of it worked, though he supposed he didn't fully need to. All he needed to know was how to operate it. He had taken courses on computer use when they first began showing up some 50 years earlier, though he knew they had been around before then as well. The amount there was to learn about society was daunting to him, and he knew he was nowhere near ready. He figured he had time, though, given how he was 53 years overdue for release, and not a word had been mentioned about it. Not that he minded much. He had come to think of Lowheart Prison as his home. Most of his days began as this one had, waking before the sun and the guard who would come with his meal. He was still in a higher security portion of the prison, even if they did give him some leeway, such as letting him keep his cell and his tree through every renovation. With it being a Tuesday, Wilmina would be on duty, and she would bring him news of her favorite sports teams and talk with him while she passed food through the complicated anti-magic prison cell. Sports confused Dax, though he supposed that most nonviolent pastimes would do that to him. He enjoyed the humanizing feelings of the mundane conversations enough to keep that to himself.